So what do you get when you get the most influential editorial and e-commerce site to collaborate with a watch company that has tons of history, but that people love and hate? Yeah, you get a badass watch.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only today. We gotta party.
YouTube, what is good? Welcome back to Timeless Sneakers and Watches. Fam, I appreciate you stopping by again. Man, we have a great piece. And to think that I have one of the 250 pieces available for review, man, that is amazing. All thanks to Adam over at Belmont Watches. Adam, thank you so much for lending this beautiful Heuer, or tag Heuer. I'm gonna go with Heuer because that's what's on the dial for review. Thank you so much. Guys, his information will be linked down below. This piece is available, so if you're a true watch collector that's looking for these type of pieces, or you're just in the market for a Hodinkee collaboration, granted, I mean, these sold out in seconds and there's only 250. Hit up Adam over at Belmont. He'll take a good care of you. Let him know that Omar from Timeless Sneakers and Watches sent you over. He'll take great care of you guys. But yeah, I mean, we have an amazing piece for review. And when I saw this available at Belmont, I instantly called Adam up and I told him, hey, I need to see this piece in hand. I personally have always been a fan of Heuer, not so much of tag Heuer. You know, I think I side with a lot of the people that, you know, don't like a lot of the new tag Heuer stuff, but vintage Heuer or Heuer re-releases, man, they're amazing. They don't make them like that anymore. No pun intended. This beautiful Heuer Carrera Dato is one that I was just, when I saw it, it's elegance, it's sporty, and I needed to share this with you guys. So no secret that this is playing tribute to the Heuer Dato 45, released in 1963. Funny enough, 1963 was a very important year for watchmaking and really the automotive and racing space at that time. 1963, Heuer released this chronograph along with obviously Rolex, right? Rolex was another big player in that era, in that time, with the Cosmograph Daytona. So 1963 was really a special year and a year that obviously we got two badass watches. This Heuer Carrera Dato in collaboration with Hodinkee, like I stated earlier in the video, was limited to 250 pieces. And guys, this thing sold out. And I get it, I see why. I mean, they really did a great job with this collaboration. Personally, they really stuck to the original. Little differences here and there that we'll go through, but for the most part, it's a very close copy or reissue of what they released back in 1963. Some differences between the original Heuer Dato 45. I believe the reference number was the 3147N. N stands for noir or black, right? Being that it was a black dial. The size difference in case is one of the major things that I would say kind of pulled away from the original. Now, granted, obviously, we're in an era where, you know, watches are a little bit bigger than what they were back then. The original was measuring in at 35 millimeters, while this new re-release is at 39 millimeters. It's about 14.7 millimeters thick and has a lug width of 19 millimeters, which I personally think it just wears amazing. Some of the other differences from the original to this is really that sub dial. Now, the original name, right, the Dato 45, was named that because the sub dial at 3 o'clock originally timed in increments of 45 minutes. Now, with the reissue, you could see here, they changed that to 30 minutes. That was one of the main differences. Now, this beautiful piece carries Heuer's Caliber 02 or Caliber 2, which they did have to modify to take the date window from the 6 o'clock and move it over to the 9 o'clock. Now guys, this design I love. It's really simple, asymmetrical in a way, right? It just doesn't make sense, right? To think you have a date window at the 9 o'clock and then the sub register or the sub dial at the 3 o'clock. But it just works and it looks so damn good. I love the way this looks. Another slight difference that you will see that changes between this one and the original Dato 45 is the chapter ring or rehod. The original had a white one that obviously went around the dial. Here, Hodinkee decided to go with black. And honestly, I really love how the black looks. It really ties in the beauty of that dial. Something else that I love about this dial, it's just how clean and simple it is. I love that it has the Heuer and Carrera on top, not tag Heuer, but I love the vintage Heuer, really playing tribute to the original 1963 Dato 45, and I think that looks phenomenal. Obviously Swiss at the 6 o'clock, and honestly, again, it's just clean and it looks perfect. It comes with this beautiful croc leather strap and the Heuer buckle. Man, it's just one of those things and one of those touches that really makes you think and feel you have a vintage Heuer from back in the days. And honestly, I just love how this piece wears. Of course, this isn't the first time that Heuer and Hodinkee collaborate, or I should say tag Heuer. I just like saying Heuer better. Obviously, the Skipper that was released in 2017 is really a mirror image of this release here. Obviously, the Skipper being a little bit more colorful, but the layout is really just reverse. And I really loved that Skipper. But if I had to pick, honestly, this Dato re-release is just one that I truly love. It just looks great, it wears great, and again guys, it's a perfect combination of sporty but dressy. In my opinion, they killed it. This piece, you also get 100 meters of water resistance, which is great, right? Because you don't have to be fearful that, hey, if you get thrown in a pool, which I'd be pissed because it's a leather strap.
So apologize or I will kick your ass in front of your entire deadbeat agency.
But aside from the leather strap going to shit, your watch won't. So that's a good thing. There's no such thing as a perfect watch. And with that said, there are a couple things that I wish they would have done a little bit different and that I'm not a big fan of. The first one being there's no running seconds hand. And to me that, you know, some people may like that. Some people, obviously like myself, don't. I just hate looking down at my watch, and if I don't see a running seconds hand, I mean, I think it's dead, it's not wound, its battery died. It just doesn't seem to obviously be pleasing or attractive to the eyes when I look down at my wrist and I see nothing moving. So the no running seconds hands for me personally is probably one of the things that I wish they would have added some way, somehow. I think it would have been a lot more pleasing to the eye. The other thing that I don't like, and again, this is subjective and it's just something that I personally don't like, is the rotor. Now, granted, it is a wonderful movement, right? You get the 80-hour power reserve with this beast of a movement in-house, right? But the rotor is noisy. And for me personally, it's one of the reasons why I don't like the Miyota movements, for example, because those tend to have a lot of rotor noise. And I was a little disappointed to, you know, when I put the watch on my wrist, I could hear and I could feel that rotor spin. And it's just one of those things that me personally, I don't like. But with that said, I know there's people out there that don't care. And so again, it's one of those things that is subjective. With that said, there's things that I truly love. I love the size. I love how true to the original this re-release or reissue is. And I think what I love the most is that when you look at this dial, it doesn't make sense. It's not a layout that you're used to, but it just works and it looks phenomenal. And hey, it's probably why it sold out in seconds. And you know, it's one of those pieces that's really, really hard to get. I mean, there's only 250 pieces, and this one originally retailed at $7,250. Now, the secondary market is charging a little more than that because of the rarity of this piece. But guys, if you guys are looking for this piece, hit up Adam over at Belmont. This is probably a good opportunity for you to capitalize and grab this piece at a reasonable price. And it's available. How long will it be available? I don't know. But it's definitely one that I wish I could own and one that I wish I could add to the collection, because it truly is one of those pieces that brings heritage and really some of that history, right, into the more modern time that we live in now. And so Hodinkee, you guys killed it. I know Hodinkee is one of those editorial, you know, companies, right, that people love or hate, but we can't deny that they're a big player in the industry. And I think they did a killer job, not only with this one, but with the Skipper they released in 2017. So my hat off to you. I love this piece. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, till next time, peace.